Okay, so good evening again, everyone. So thank you again for joining our live session tonight. And again, um, please forgive me for my voice. No? Not just feeling well a little tonight, but I will try, my very best, no, to be able to provide you the necessary info, for us to be prepared for the CCNA version 1.1 certification exam. Okay, so let me share my screen. So just want to confirm if you can see my screen now. Okay, and I do hope everyone will also throw questions later on. Okay, okay, so thank you for that. So at this point, we are actually done with the network fundamentals. Okay. So this time we are now moving forward into network access part. So which focused really on switching and wireless, as you can see, um, wireless LAN. Okay. So these are topics from 2.1 to 2.9. And I will be um, covering some of the 2.1 and 2.2. All right. So we will talk about tonight configure and verify VLAN, utilizing the normal range or the normal VLAN ID range, and also configuring and verify inter-switch connectivity. So by implementing VLAN trunk and utilizing the standard 802.1q. And of course, what is this? What we call native VLAN. Okay, so we'll talk about this tonight. Okay, so again, we will start with the uh, configure and verify VLANs. So, but before that, let's talk about VLAN first. So, ano ba yung VLAN? Okay. So, right now, our topology is just as simple as having, we have, actually, I am having right here a live and running two Cisco Catalyst 2960 switches. So, ito po yung ating dalawang switch. No? Okay. And then, these two are interconnected actually through their, we have here gigabit 0/23 on that side. And also on this side is also that same port number. Okay. For ease of tracking. And then on this side, I have the gigabit 24 and also on that side as well. 24. So these two switches are connected via that port. And this is our switch 1. And this one is our switch 2. And I have some two PCs connected right now. So we have one PC here. I have also another PC on this side. And this is connected via, okay, that port is actually just gigabit 0/1 on that side. And also I have one okay. So as simple as that. Okay. And this is our topology for tonight. Let me um, resize it so that you can see it more clearly. So that's basically our topology, you know. So to implement this, and I have here two instances of PuTTY. So one, it's where we will be configuring our switch one, and another one on that side, we will be configuring our switch two. Okay, so right now these two are reset into its factory default. No, so it has no VLAN. There are no additional VLAN that was created. Um, Again, it's just default VLANs that we have right now. Okay, so um, before we will go with the configuration, so let's talk first about what is a VLAN. So VLAN, or we call this as virtual local area network. So it's just the same as the normal, just we just simply call it also a LAN or maybe a subnet, no? Which is of course a broadcast domain, no? If one device within the VLAN broadcast locally, everybody sees it, receives it. Okay, but broadcast from within that VLAN will not be propagated by default no, to other VLANs. Okay, so again, just look at VLAN as just basically a subnet, a broadcast domain, and typically we assign no a certain block of address for it. Okay, so it's also considered as one subnet. Okay, and virtual in a sense that um, we can actually create, shall we say, several broadcast domain, shall we say LAN, within our switch. Okay, so unlike with the old switching technology before that um, a single switch holds a single broadcast domain only. But right now, with our current switches that supports this one, a switch can actually create no, and maintain several broadcast domain within it. And that's basically the VLAN is. And VLAN are also identified, no? So they have a unique VLAN ID. So you are going to associate it with, it has an associated VLAN ID. Okay, and we have an extended range, and we also have we have the normal range and also the extended one. Right? So we will only, of course, be covering the extended range. So which is the normal range, which is actually the VLAN IDs that starts with 1 up to 1005. Okay? And we can actually see that checking on one of our switches. Let's go with switch 2. Show VLAN here. Okay, you'll notice that we have VLAN 1 by default. We also have VLAN 1002, 1003, 1004, and 1005. So there are actually numbers missing here as if they are missing. So these are number 2 to 1001. Okay, so again, these are VLAN IDs. So this current VLAN that we have right now are also known as default VLANs. Okay, and we will create more later on, and how to do that. So we'll see about that. Okay, and VLAN are it's where you know our devices will be placed into. And you know that computers like desktop or maybe a laptop, once they are connected via wired, they are normally associated with a certain port or interface, right? So like in our example here, um, this PC is connected, so we say in gigabit 0/1 as well as the other side. So question is, which VLAN we want this computer be in? Okay, so the corresponding port it is connected in will be assigned to that VLAN. So as simple as that. All right. On the logical perspective at layer 2, so you make sure that the port where that computer is connected must be placed in the VLAN where you want that computer be part of. Okay, so ganun lang po, no? So, and we'll see about that, no? We are going to create VLAN and then we are also going to assign, no, certain ports to a VLAN. Okay? So, again, a VLAN have an associated VLAN ID. Okay? And by the way, those ports where computers are connected, okay, are normally be our access ports. Access ports tawag natin doon. So normally ito yon. Yun. This one is an access port as well as this port here is also an access port. So what exactly an access port is? Okay. Access port is a port which is associated with a single VLAN only, no? And in other vendors, sometimes we call them untag port, no? In other vendor, they are also known as untag port. All right. All right. Yan. Untag port. Why? Now, there are certain vendors that do not use no the term access. Okay? They just simply use this term untag. Now, in the VLAN environment, um, frames could be tagged or untagged. So if you still remember um, our earlier discussion under the network fundamentals, you know, a frame could be added with a VLAN tag or not, no? It can just simply be a normal frame. So a normal frame don't have a tag. So sometimes we call them untag frame, okay? But there are also frame that is being tagged. So we call them a tag frame, okay? So when we say access port, then this is a port which accept and transmit a frame without a tag. So it's just simply be a normal frame. Okay, so by default, computers are just simply sending normal frames. So frame without any VLAN tags. Okay, so don't forget that. All right, and also default VLAN is actually referring to this VLAN IDs 1, 1002, 1003, 1004, and the 1005. These are the default VLAN. So this VLAN 1 is the default Ethernet VLAN, while this other four here, we are not actually be utilizing them because they are reserved for the old LAN technologies before. I suppose this is for uh, com- um, um, in order for the switch to be able to support them also. No? So those network which is built using token ring or FDDI. But at this point, we are just be focused on Ethernet VLANs. So that includes the VLAN 1 and also the remaining missing numbers in here. Okay. So another thing to note is that for an Ethernet VLAN with the VLAN ID of 1, all ports, always remember, all ports are part or member of that same VLAN. So meaning, by default, by default, all computers connected to any of these ports is part of that broadcast domain, which is under the VLAN 1 VLAN. All right, so that's the default in most managed switches, right? But we will create more later on. So for inter-VLAN connectivity, so this is actually referring to routing already. So we will not be discussing inter-VLAN routing at this point. So this is somehow quite relevant um, in routing topics, no? So maybe for now, we are going to skip this one. All right. And next to that is, again, within the switch, no? Within the switch, um, we can create VLANs. What if, let us say, I wish to create, for example, no? So for example, I want to implement VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 99 here. All right. And I wish to extend this same VLAN to another switch or maybe another switch beyond switch 2. Okay? So meaning you are going to extend your broadcast domain to multiple switches, not just 2, but maybe 3 or even more. What are we going to do? So how can we allow the interconnectivity of broadcast domain with the same VLAN ID in switch 1 be connected to that broadcast domain of the same VLAN ID on another switch? So how are we going to interconnect them? Okay? So logically, the best and the common approach to interconnect them is to use this concept of what you call tagging. So we need to implement this what you call um, tag port. All right? Ganyan. Ito po dito, guys. Tawag natin dyan. Magiging tawag natin dyan sa kanila. Tag port. Sorry. Ayan. And in Cisco, we actually call them trunk. No, ang tawag natin dito guys is trunk. Okay? Dito na lang. So yun yung term yan dito. That's a trunk port. But sa ibang vendor guys, there are some adapt the same keyword But there are vendor that does not um, use no that term trunk. Yes, maybe there are certain question. All right. So yan po, no? These are the two types of ports in a switching environment if you do implement VLAN. Okay? So we have a access port. We also call it an untag port, a trunk port, which is also known as a tag port. Why is it tag port? Because again, frame that this port supports processing frame with VLAN tag. Question, how big is the VLAN tag? Just remember, as per standard IEEE 802.1q, so this is actually a 4 byte tag, no? A 4 byte tag, and then actually 12 bits, that the last 12 bits of this one is the VLAN ID. So let me emphasize that. So the one that creates the standard of what you call frame tagging, no concept, is actually the IEEE 802.12. Okay? And a trunk port supports the IEEE 802.12. But mind you guys, there is another trunking protocol. So the one we call inter-switch link, the ISL. But ISL, guys, is Cisco proprietary. No? Again, it is Cisco proprietary. So what is actually being covered in CCNA is just simply IEEE 802.1q. And I think that would be good. Why? Because in most implementation nowadays, normally common implementation is a multi-vendor environment wherein Cisco is not just the only switches around. So maybe your Cisco switch is the core of the network, and then the rest of the switches will be connected to it. Okay? So you cannot really use ISL then. So what we can leverage then is the standard EEE 802.1q. I hope that is uh, everyone understand that. Okay, so how is it possible that we're able to extend? It seems that we are creating a logical connectivity of the VLANs here in this switch as well as the VLAN no, in another switch. So let us say, for example, this device will be in VLAN 10, and this one will also be in VLAN 10 as well. So question is, how can we interconnect these two? No, by interconnecting the VLAN where we want to place them. So again, these are the technologies that we need to learn about. Learn about what is an access port. Again, it's a port which is associated only with a single VLAN, and it's also known as an untag port. And also the trunk port is also known as a tag port, which is associated with not just one, but by default, guys, a tag port or a trunk port in Cisco Catalyst by default is it can support no traffic that can be sent to or received from any or all VLAN that is supported by our switch. Okay? So, how the communication work? So, perhaps maybe you have a frame from here, okay, that is created by this computer, and then that frame will need to be forwarded on this side. Kailangan naabot yan doon. Okay? And how this switch will be able to forward, no, successfully that frame forwarded and relayed, no, from one switch to another. Okay? So as what I have said, no, a typical computer will generate an untag frame. Again, this one, guys, is an untag frame, a frame without any VLAN tag. Once this frame is received by the switch, that frame remains untagged. Once it is received, for example, in gigabit 01, where this PC is connected to and assigned perhaps to a VLAN 10, okay, and that same untagged frame is received by switch 1 in port gigabit 01. Okay, then it will be processed by the switch, by switch 1, and then try to check its what? Its MAC address table to find out which port should this frame should be sent out. So what will happen is this. This is what will happen. This frame, let us say for instance, if the MAC address of this destination PC is associated on gigabit 0/23, you know what will happen? This frame will be added with a tag before it will be sent out on gigabit 23. So that's what you call frame tagging. That's why this port is known as a trunk port or a tag port, because untag frame will be added with the tag. So what will happen is, this is what will happen next. Okay? So this will be then actually frame the frame tag will be inserted between that's between the source and the type len field, no? So an additional 4 bits will be added in here. So this is what you call the tag, the frame tag. And this frame tag is around 4 bytes. And one significant information added in the 4-byte tag is actually the 12 bits. So out of that 4 bytes, 12 bits of that is the VLAN ID. Okay? It's the VLAN ID. So meaning, the VLAN ID that will be associated with this frame now is actually VLAN 10, because that frame was originally captured and received in port gigabit 01, and it is assigned to VLAN 10. So the VLAN ID will be VLAN 10 in that case. So this frame will be forwarded on the other side. Good. And so this switch now receive a frame with a tag on that trunk port or tag port. And based on the information, the VLAN ID is VLAN 10. So does this switch know this frame goes to what VLAN? To VLAN 10. So it will check its MAC address table, find out those ports assigned to VLAN 10, the destination MAC address is associated with what port? And that should supposed to be the MAC address of the destination. So that's how the interconnectivity, or the connectivity of these VLANs in these different switches in a in a multiple switch environment. Um, Frame is just passed from one switch to another, but VLAN tag must have to be associated with it so that frame can be identified. Where should this frame goes to? No? And so once this switch to receive send out, will need to send out the frame, no, out of this port, which is bound to this destination. So what it will do is that it will remove the tag. So therefore, this switch will send out an untagged frame again. And that's what would be the what will be received, no, by the PC, an untagged frame. It's just the normal frame. So don't forget, guys, tagging happens on trunk, untagging happens on access ports, on access. All right? Question, guys, with the concept of VLAN, trunk. Okay? Any question, guys? Wala? So now, what is this, what we call native VLAN? Okay? So native VLAN, by the way, is that concept supported, of course, by the standard IEEE 802.1q. Okay? And normally native VLAN is also associated with trunk. So native VLAN. Actually, by default, this is VLAN 1. And what is native VLAN? Is the VLAN that supports what? Untagged frame. So, in situations where a trunk port receives a frame without a tag, the question is, where should this frame be sent out? Again, for certain cases, no, wherein a trunk port received an untagged frame. So meaning, what happens is that um, for example, um, there is a frame received by the sports. No, the question, guys, is that where should this frame goes? Because the trunk port receives an untagged frame. So untagged frame, guys, will be sent out to native VLAN. So that's the purpose, no, of a native VLAN. So it will be the VLAN that accepts, no, any frame received on trunk ports. Okay, it will be the one that will accept untagged frame. And native VLAN by default, guys, is VLAN 1. And actually, you can modify that. All right? Guys, question. Any question with the concept here? Okay? Then we can go with the demo. No? No questions? If none, then let's do this. No? All right? So we will just create as simple as 3 VLANs here, and then we're going to extend that in another switch. So we will start with switch 1. So, guys, in implementing VLAN, there are just simply two steps in the process. Within the switch, if you want to implement VLAN within the switch, there are just two steps. The first step is you are going to create the VLAN. The second step is you are going to reassign certain ports to a VLAN. Simple as that. Okay. So let's start with creating VLAN then. So step one, we will create VLAN. So as simple as the command VLAN, and then you're going to assign the VLAN ID. The choice is yours. Okay, in our case, we will create VLAN 10. So the VLAN ID is 10. And so you will be moved into a VLAN configuration mode. Then from here, you can assign, actually, um, assign a name that serves as a kind of a description. And this is, of course, optional. So if you want to have one, then that would be good. And it's actually the best practice. So for example, I'm going to name this one employee, or let us say faculty VLAN. School setting yung setup natin. Then, you don't need to exit. Okay? We can actually create VLAN, another VLAN from this mode. Let us say VLAN 20, and let me name this one, let us say student VLAN. So we created now 3 VLAN 99. Let us say name, this is, excuse me, um, admin VLAN. Ano? Let's rename this one to guest. Let's create another one. VLAN 100. Let us say this is admin VLAN. So let's just create 4. Then exit for it to be applied. No? So once you exit, then you should be able to create now, you should have now all the 4 VLANs that we have created. So as you can see here. Okay? But you will notice, guys, that there are no ports currently associated with it. But all of those VLANs are now active ones. Another thing is that I want to emphasize that if you are going to create, once you have created the new VLAN, if you check on the flash memory, you should be seeing a file we call VLAN.dat file. By default, guys, this VLAN database file does not exist unless you created at least one additional VLAN. So you will see that in switch 2, we have not yet created the VLAN show flash. You will not be seeing any VLAN.dat file yet. Okay? So again, the VLAN.dat file will only be created once you have added a new at least one VLAN other than the default. So I hope that is uh that's also one thing to note here. All right? And then what would be the next step then? So as what I have said, you know, VLAN are just created, but there are no ports associated with it yet. By default, guys, all ports are associated with VLAN 1. So let's assume this way. For example, let us say the gigabit 0/1, so will be assigned to VLAN 10, right? So this is, let us say this is what we intend to do. And your commands to remember are as follows: switch port, mode, access. So this is to ensure that the port will remain an access port, no? And The next command to remember is the switch port access VLAN and then the VLAN ID. So this is where you're going to assign the VLAN. What VLAN you want to associate with it. So this is one way of moving now gigabit 01 from VLAN 1, we move it to VLAN 10 in this case. Enter. And that's it. That's how simple it is to show VLAN here. You see? So we already have transferred one port in VLAN 10 and this gigabit 01 is no longer a part of VLAN or a member of VLAN 1 here. What if you want to simultaneously assign multiple ports to a VLAN? How are you going to do that? So let's try. The command, guys, is this. You need just to enter the keyword range to specify multiple ports. Let us say I would start with gigabit 0/2, for example, comma, let us say I will not include 3. Maybe I could start with gigabit 0/5, then going to 7, for instance. And then we'll also include gigabit 0/20, for example, 21, for example. So all of these ports, okay, we're going to assign them to, of course, we're going to make it an access port. And then finally, we're going to assign a VLAN to it. Let us say this will be VLAN 20. All right, exit. And let's add another one. Let us say gigabit 0/22. Then I want this to be where in VLAN, let us say 100. All right. And that's it. Do show VLAN here. Show VLAN brief. You can also use that version. Okay. To just display the VLANs and the ports that were assigned. So as you can see down here, we have only one port, gigabit 01, assigned in VLAN 10. And then gigabit 2, 5, 6, 7, and 21 is in VLAN 20. And of course, gigabit 22 is in VLAN 100. So guys, that's simple. So that's how simple it is to implement VLAN within the switch. It's just as simple as creating the VLAN first. And then next step is to reassign certain ports to the VLAN you want. Okay? Is there any question, guys? Any question? Walang tanong?
None so far.
Okay. For a while. Ayan. So, ang pwede kong gawain na lang muna for now is let us say um, we'll have another PC here. And then, i-connect po natin yan dyan. And then also, we are going to make this one a part of VLAN 10. And let us say this port is also, what VLAN again? What ports are in VLAN 10? We're going also to include gigabit 0 slash 19, for example. Okay, so let's see. 19 will be also be part of VLAN 10. So how are you going to do that? Interface gigabit 0 slash 19. So don't forget, guys, the command switch port mode access to make it an access port. And also the VLAN that we're going to assign is VLAN 10. Okay, so show VLAN again. So you'll notice that we have now gigabit 01 and 19 is now part of VLAN 10. So what if, let us say, excuse me, you are going to reassign the port. Let us say, for example, I want this port 7. I forgot, no, that this port, let us say port 6, will need to be assigned to VLAN 99. How are you going to do that? So all you need to do is just go to gigabit 0 slash 6. Then just simply assign switch, enter the command switch port access VLAN 99. So as simple as that. So this will now be transferred and become part of VLAN 99 after this. Enter. Then exit. Do show VLAN brief. Okay. So you'll notice now that VLAN 6 is now transferred to VLAN 99. And by the way, if you want to delete VLAN, how are you going to do that? Let us say I have created VLAN 1000. Let us say 1000 and then name this one test VLAN. Okay. Then let's check show VLAN. Let's see if there is another VLAN created. Yes. We have an additional VLAN 1000 added here. And let us say, for example, I want to remove it. How are you going to do that? Simple. Just enter a new version of that command. So no VLAN 1000. Entering this command, guys, will remove this test VLAN here. So let's check again. To show VLAN brief. And VLAN 1000 is no more. So that's how you also delete VLAN, guys. Okay, so things to remember for connectivity within the VLAN. Make sure that you have created the VLAN and then you have also assigned the port to the right VLAN. Excuse me. So what am I going to do now is that this. So I'm going to assign, actually this PC here, this one, let us say I'm going to name this one PC1. This is actually the PC right now that is what I am using in this session. And also this is the computer that I also use to connect my console, the two console cable, no connect that is connected to these two switches. And also, we need to configure this one with an IP address. All right, let's see. So this is actually the interface card. So I just use an additional a actually this is um a USB Ethernet card adapter, LAN adapter. So let us say, let's for example, guys, let us say VLAN 100 um For example, for our addressing, let us say VLAN 10 is 192.168.10.0/24. So let us say, for example, guys, this is the subnet where which is what we're going to assign to VLAN 10, and then we are just going to assign one usable IP here. Let us say this is 192.168, the 10 dot, let us say 11, or let us say 101/24. And also the second PC here, uh, we are going to assign 112, 102, sorry, /24. Okay, so let's assign this computer with an IP address then. So let's now go to the network interface card. Excuse me. This is 10.101. Okay, we don't need default gateway right for now. We don't need that. We don't need DNS either. No? So we can just simply provide IP and subnet mask. So that's the only requirement for a communication within the network. So this is 101. So I will just leave for a moment. I'm going to configure the one of the computer on the other side. So for a while, guys. Okay. So I'm done physically connecting this other PC here. So let us say this is our PC2. So what I did is simply connecting the network interface card of this PC and plug it in gigabit 0/19 physically. Logically, remember guys, we already have assigned gigabit 0/19 in VLAN 10. And so as gigabit 01. So if you're going to check that here, so show VLAN brief. So remember guys, 1 and 19 is assigned in VLAN 10. So right now, logically, this 2 PC is part of the same broadcast domain of VLAN 10. Okay, so remember another requirement at layer 3, make sure that they belong to the same subnet. And so the IP address of PC1 and PC2 must be belong to that same subnet. In our case, this is 192.168.10.0/24. And secondly, make sure guys that their network interface card are plugged in physically on those two ports. So to ensure that there is really connectivity. And so let's see. Let's verify again. Port 13 here. So show IP interface brief to see the status of the interfaces. So we are interested only in gigabit 01. So you have here the physical layer status is up. The protocol layer status is also up. So that's a good sign, meaning my PC right now is plugged in into that port. And there's also another PC plugged in into gigabit 0/19. And as you can see, both the physical status and the data link layer status is also up. So meaning there is a live device connected in that. And I already have configured it with an IP address. So this IP is what I assigned to that PC. It's actually a laptop here, 192.168.10.102. And my PC here is 101. So let's check. Let's now go to the command prompt of my PC, then ipconfig/all. So to verify, this is actually my wireless adapter. It's where my internet connection is connected to. And this is the USB. This is just fast Ethernet, by the way, as shown here. And its IP is 192.168.10.101. And that's it. No? So let us say if I can ping. So test for connectivity within the VLAN, then we need to ping the other PC 10.102. And this must reply. Otherwise, we're going to do again troubleshooting. Well, no need because there is already a reply. So again, guys, PC1 and PC2 is part of the same broadcast domain. They are part of the broadcast domain of VLAN 10. And again, they are part of the same subnet. And so their address comes from that same subnet. So this is 10.101 and the other one is 10.102. So this is what we mean by connectivity within the VLAN. We also call that, guys, that communication is called intra-VLAN communication. So right now, the current communication that is working is called the intra-VLAN communication. Excuse me. Question? Do we have any question, guys? So guys, questions? Anything about VLAN? Okay. Concept, configuration, troubleshooting, verification. So what are just the things that you need to remember to verify once you configured VLAN? Very simple command. Show VLAN. Brief to say to see what are the VLANs that was created and what are the ports assigned to it. So make sure that you have assigned the right ports to that VLAN. So in implementing VLAN then, so just to wrap up things up, what are the things to check on? Okay, to make sure that there is intra-VLAN communication, no, within the switch, no, within this switch. So make sure that you have, number one, created the VLAN. Second, assigned right port to correct VLAN, no? Third, assigned IP address. Oh, no, no. Second, you need to make sure that PCs connected to the right port. All right. And finally, the fourth one, make sure that uh, IP address was assigned correctly. No? So these are the things that you need to remember, no? To make sure that there is really intra-VLAN communication. Question, guys. So these are the things to check on, no? And there's only one commands to remember here to verify VLAN and VLAN assignment. So that's simply show VLAN or show VLAN brief. Now, if you want to see really the ports or the entire configuration that you have, then simply show run. So if you want to see all of the configuration you just have done, so we can see here the port configurations, no? So the VLAN assignment, as you can see, all right? No? So those are the changes we have done with the current configuration that we have. And by the way, the switch one is a 48 port switch. This last two is actually SFPs. No? Question, guys. So maybe for now, I could stop from here. So we will continue our discussion next meeting by extending, no? Extending VLAN in another switch. And how are we going to implement, to extend, no? And interconnect those VLANs in another switch using trunk. Guys, is there any question? So, baka may mga tanong kayo dyan. Ha? Do we have any questions? Wala talaga? Okay, that will be our reference for the next session that we will be having. Questions from the for what clarification for the concept, no? And the configuration as well. Wala talaga, guys. So dahan-dahan lang tayo, no? And actually hindi pa ano rin ang boses ko, no? Maybe mag-okay na ito next meeting. But my voice is loud and clear. Okay lang ba? Okay lang din naman, naririnig naman ako. Okay, so thank you for that. All right. Okay. So, we will continue our discussion next meeting, no, for the remaining configurable by extending our VLAN in another switch, and that is actually by configuring a trunk, no, between them. And then we could proceed also with other topics like yes, LLDP, link aggregation, so we can continue with other topics. And I think we will separate this one. Isi-separate ko to. Um, and also a separate topic for wireless. So then maybe we could still be we will be having, I think, three, no? Three videos for the network access part, no, of this review, no? CCNA review. So guys, really, you don't have any questions? Clarifications? May I hear your voice saying no? So I just presume that everyone understood, and um will, of course, you have the recording, so I'm going to upload that in YouTube, no? So guys, thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you next meeting for another session. Okay. God bless everyone. Bye bye.